The best sermon that I ever preached was the Sunday after the fire.
End up being a Johnny, so forget about it.
It sounds like you need to go talk to that girl on Bigwood. I say, what girl on Bigwood? The little girl on Bigwood told me I had to heal that little girl. And I went on a journey to heal me.
If he'll do that to his son, what would make me think that I'm an exemption?
Mama said, Bible said, Mama said, Bible said, Mama said, Bible said, ooh, Mama said.
And then, try to change the tune then, but at that point,
Too late.
yeah,
So-
end up being a Johnny, so forget about it.
Okay, I'm sorry. For those who don't know what a Johnny is, please explain.
So
What's a Johnny?
we had a Johnny
Okay.
talking, in our coming up of Johnny. But my mother broke down Johnny, what a Johnny is.
Oh, I gotta hear.
So, it's a fly guy. He comes in all dressed up nice and
Okay.
looking all, but is about nothing. Don't have nothing. Just you're front, you're a fraud. You're just. So when you see these, pimped out looking guys, is hat to the side and scarf and nice shoes and stuff, it's a Johnny.
It's a Johnny. I love it because I couldn't break it down. I knew exactly what it was, but I couldn't break down like a breakdown.
Johnny.
That's a Johnny. I love it.
Stay away, Johnny. Yeah, stay away from Johnny. Because the Johnnies for me were like older wannabes. They were like, you can't come to a female like a younger guy could.
Okay.
So you're older, and so you have to be more. Yes, you have to
bring that
come
money
in a
out.
different way than. Yeah. Well, as far as a Johnny is concerned, Johnnies have to be fed into their ego. So one woman, they can't just be with one woman. They have to,
You say fed into their ego. What do you?
like they need to feel like they got it going on.
So them
They're the
have it like them being flashy and stuff like that is not just enough. They have to feel it from the women. Is that what you're saying?
yes, because the women,
Is the reason why
the
they
key
flash.
women. It's not just one woman. It's not like my man is a Johnny, because
Gotcha.
Johnny's gonna have
Gotcha.
7 women. Johnny's a player.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have felt like we sometimes as women try to tap into the potential that they have
Oh yeah.
versus what they really are and
Yeah.
think, oh, well, they haven't dealt with this or they haven't experienced this, or if I show them this,
Yeah.
they'll think different. But it doesn't.
Yes,
You
it
can't. No. You're just wasting your time.
Just wasting.
Yeah.
your-
Now, see, younger us thinking that,
Yeah.
we put a lot of effort
Yeah.
into it. But today,
Yeah.
get out of my face.
Baby,
Absolutely
yeah.
not. It's not happening.
love
Yeah,
it.
it's when
It's
we don't even have
younger.
the energy.
But we ain't got
We don't
that
have the
kind of
energy.
Who? We ain't got that kind of energy.
No.
And you said the key thing, younger us,
Because we're naive, we
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
and maybe I can show.
Yes. You learn.
Time changes.
Time changes a lot.
Time changes a
It's
lot.
time, baby. A lot of women just don't want to be by themselves. And with me and my cousin, we had this conversation too. It's okay, me being by myself, because I actually kind of like it, So I feel like, to me, that is the biggest thing. A lot of people just don't want to be alone. But when a person doesn't want to be alone, it's something about them that they're not happy about. There's something about them. I don't know what it is, but it's because if you don't want to be alone or you don't like being alone, what happened to you? What's wrong with you? Or what makes you feel like being by yourself is so horrible? You know what I'm saying? You end up picking a wrong person. Because just because a person is a man does not mean that that's the man for you. I don't want perfection. Nobody. I know nobody's perfect. I don't want perfection. It's a certain type of man that I do want, but perfect ain't at the top of the list. So that's whatever. I'm very laid back.
There's a lot of women, believe it or not, are desperate to have a man. And every woman's situation is different. And sometimes what you'll find is because I haven't, or a woman hasn't had that, you see a lot of women who are taking care of men. They borrow my car. I give them money. I pay for their haircut. It's almost like
A second child.
absolutely.
No
This
one
is
with
not
children.
what we see as a man, is head of the household, or, you're not seeing that in these relationships. These women are actually taking care of the men.
Yeah.
And it's really just making the men very, very weak and dependent on the women because, hey, I need some money.
And I told my
Hey,
son,
you know, I got to go to Ray Ray's house. I need the car.
Yeah.
I need,
the car,
you know, all this stuff because just to say that you have a man,
just to say you have a man.
it can be a touchy subject because some women that we see do that, if you say that, oh, well, no, he's not like that. No, he doesn't. No. Yeah.
They laid him off. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's totally different when things happen. Of course, that's totally different for me. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if
We
you've
all
been
go
laid
through
off,
things. We all
they'll
go
rock
through
with you. That's cool. But when you've been laid off and you've been off for 5 years, where's the red light? That would be a red flag.
Yes.
You haven't worked in 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shed that. So I'm not using the word guarded, but I do have a gate around my heart. There's a little gate around there, and if you can get in there. Anybody can get in my heart, but I want to see how you trying to get in there. Are you trying to get in that gate with a key, or are you gonna break the lock? See, one thing I don't like, I don't need nobody trying to break my lock. You can't break my lock. If you trying to get in there, you got the key and you trying to put it in gently and turn it. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel safe. But if I see you with
Trying to pick it.
you got that that cutter. Yeah, you trying to cut that.
Yeah. Bolt cutter now.
Bolt cutter. There you go. I don't feel good when I see someone coming towards my gate with a bolt cutter.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you're not getting in. So that, to me, simplifying it, because I'm going to simplify it in nice, sweet terms. Simplify it makes it way easier. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I do have a gate around my house. Ain't nobody getting in unless you have a nice key. It could be a master key or it could be a spare key. It's a key.
It's a key.
I remember telling my son about one of the dreams because my son is my spiritual son. My oldest son, he is my spiritual son. And anytime I have something spiritual to say, I talk to him, and I'm gonna tell you, he has a beautiful relationship with God, but he's never just been in church all his life or anything like that. I kept him trying to go to church. I did that. I did those type of things, but he has a gift. But I had this dream and it was very important. I kept saying, he the one told me I needed to heal. He was like, because I say, I keep dreaming about my house that I grew up in. He was like, for real? I said, yeah. I said, we still own it, but we rent it out. I said, I don't know why I'm dreaming about this house. And he say, oh, out of nowhere, this boy gonna say, oh, it sounds like you need to go talk to that girl on Bigwood. I say, what girl on Bigwood? The little girl on Bigwood. What little girl on Bigwood are you referring to? What you as a child mama on Bigwood? I say, what? Boy, please, ain't nothing wrong with me. I had a wonderful childhood. I say, boy, ain't nothing wrong with me. I say, I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nothing happened to me. What you talking about? Ain't no molestation, none of that crazy crap happened. I say, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I got upset because I got frustrated. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Whatever. I said, that don't even make no sense. So I don't know what you're talking about. Because I associated it with that kind of trauma. But it never clicked that all the trauma that I was having, I put it in the back of my mind because after my dad died, I had to live. So after he died, I tried to put every inkling of the memory, everything in the back of my mind. So I think I was getting mad at him at that time because it was inching up. And when it was inching up, I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nothing bad, but that was so far back. And, he told me I had to heal that little girl. And I went on a journey to heal me. So God put the right angels. That's why I say my angels that God got around me are so phenomenal. He put the right angels around me in order for me to heal. And baby, when I healed, I have never felt such a large amount of peace ever in my life. When I finally healed, I felt free. So what I will say is when people take the time to actually heal from things, it's not just, okay, you got to heal, it's the freedom. How is it that I'm years old now and I'm realizing,
I'm trying to cough it out.
and I'm realizing that this age right here, that I've never had a budget and I've never not made it. You see what I'm saying? But leaning on God. And I'm going to tell you this. It's been times within this 4 years. Anyone who knows me knows that I have an older brother who is extremely successful. Anything I've ever needed, wanted, he's always gave it to me. It was times within this 4 years I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go and call my bro. And God said, stop. And I was like, oh, I gotta stop. I would hear him say, no, stop. And I'm like, oh, but no, I couldn't do it because I had to live, because he wanted me to do it for my good and for his glory. It was because I leaned on him and no one. That's what I be tripping on. God knows us. And that's the thing that you be like, well, if you could have did this differently, God. But one thing I do know, God knows us. But guess what? My storm, I'm speaking strictly from my storm. My situation that he sent my way, I was telling one of my friends about 3 weeks ago. I said, if God would have told me the plan and laid it all out to me, I would have been like, oh, okay, God, I see. But I'm going to catch up with you in about 5 more years when I get my money right. So what I got to do, stack up my money, get this point up here, and make sure it's where it need to be. Then I'm going to make sure the house is straight. I'm going to tell God what, I'm going to get with you later on that, because I never would have went through but I'm grateful that I did. Very grateful. But if he would have told me to storm the place, I would have said, yeah. Okay, in about 5 more years when I get my money right, because you remember I'm buying this house. So when I get ready to get this house, I'm going to save this money, I'm going to save this amount of money. When I get to that number, I'm going to come back and then make sure I do exactly. Yeah, I would have put him on that plan, but he told me, hey, look, everything happens in his time.
But this is a message for those of you who are listening and those of you who are watching. We have to get to a place that and it takes me back to the book of Job, man. The first chapter in Job. Job was introduced as a man who was upright, feared God, shunned away from all evil. It talked about Job and his kids and Job and his cattle and how great of a man that Job was. And one day Satan came to God requesting permission to put his hands on Job, and God granted permission. And it seemed like it was one storm after another, after another, after another. He had multiple storms. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. But in that moment, the Bible says that after Job received all of the bad news, Job stood up, he shaved his head, he tore his robe, he fell to his knees. He said, naked I came and naked I shall return. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So anything that God has blessed us with, anything that God has blessed you with, I need for you to understand this. The God that we serve knows exactly what we need. And because he knows exactly what we need, he knows how to handle us right where we are. Man, if God has blessed you with it, the same God that blessed you is the same God that can take it away.
Mama said, Bible said, Mama said, Bible said.